business meetings with confidence, clarity, and impact. Especially, when you need to sound precise and professional in English. It can feel a bit like walking into a linguistic minefield sometimes, trying to find exactly the right words
Right.
without fumbling.
You've really hit on a crucial point there. The stakes in a business meeting, they aren't just about getting information across. It's about influencing outcomes, building that professional rapport, and, well, driving strategic decisions. Having the right linguistic toolkit at your fingertips can literally make the difference between, say, just being understood and truly being impactful. It's about moving from just being there, a passive attendee, to an active contributor.
The purpose of this meeting is to review our project progress. It sounds so basic, doesn't it? But what's the hidden power in such a simple, direct statement?
Well, it's deceptively simple, but it's incredibly powerful because it immediately clarifies the why. It prevents that common scenario, the one where a meeting drifts for 10 minutes before anyone truly understands the objective. By stating it up front, you respect everyone's time and you get their brains aligned on that objective instantly. It maximizes efficiency from the very first second.
And then following that, the source suggests, thank you all for joining the meeting on time. Is that just good manners, or is there maybe a deeper professional strategy at play, especially thinking about diverse international teams?
Oh, it's far more than just manners. It's really about establishing and reinforcing behavioral norms, specifically the value of punctuality. By acknowledging those who arrived on time, you subtly reward that behavior and, well, you encourage it for future interactions. In a professional context, time is often the most valuable commodity, right? So this small gesture communicates that you respect everyone's schedules, which in turn builds a culture of mutual respect and efficiency.
Okay, and before diving into the nitty-gritty, a phrase like, let's go over the agenda before we start, that seems fundamental. How does this simple act of structuring actually impact the flow and the productivity of a meeting?
Yeah, this phrase is basically the meeting's compass. It provides a roadmap, it manages expectations for what will be covered, and crucially, in what order. This structure helps prevent tangents, ensures all critical points get addressed, and it allows participants to mentally prepare for the upcoming discussions. It signals organization, control, which honestly fosters a sense of security and productivity among attendees.
Right. And finally, in this opening phase, checking for comprehension with, does everyone clearly understand the topic? This seems crucial. Does it prevent a specific type of common meeting pitfall?
Absolutely. This phrase is a vital alignment check. It prevents what you might call assumption creep, where people nod along, assuming they understand, only to realize later they were on a completely different wavelength. It gives anyone a chance to voice confusion before the discussion moves too far along, ensuring that shared foundation of understanding. This simple question can save hours of rework or misunderstanding down the line. Seriously.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Once you've set that clear purpose and agenda, the real work of discussion begins. And that's often where the dynamics of a meeting can, make or break its productivity. So how do we ensure everyone feels heard? And that we're truly extracting all the necessary details, not just surface level stuff?
Well, this raises a really important question. How do you foster an environment where diverse perspectives are genuinely encouraged and where critical information is freely shared? It's not easy. These phrases we're about to discuss are like the connective tissue of productive dialogue. They help you move beyond just stating your own point to actively building that collective intelligence in the room.
Okay, so the source highlights, we'd like to hear everyone's perspective on this. That immediately invites broad participation. How does this go beyond just being polite? How does it actually enhance the decision-making process?
This phrase is a powerful invitation to what we call psychological safety. It signals that all voices are valued, which is crucial for tapping into the full spectrum of ideas and potential solutions within the room. Diverse perspectives, they often uncover blind spots or maybe innovative approaches that a single viewpoint might just miss. So by explicitly inviting input, you enrich the discussion and ultimately lead to more robust, well-rounded decisions.
Right. And after a point has been made, using something like, any additional comments on this issue? That seems like an excellent prompt. What's the subtle art of using this effectively? Is there a trick to it?
It's a nuanced way to open the floor without putting anyone directly on the spot, isn't it? It's not a direct demand for comment, like, what do you think? But an invitation for further input. It allows those who might be a bit hesitant to speak up to contribute, ensuring no stone is left unturned. And potentially crucial information or concerns aren't left unsaid just due to a perceived lack of opportunity. It's really about comprehensive data gathering.
Okay. And if you need more information, simply asking, can you provide more details on that point, seems straightforward. But how does this specific phrase help prevent those costly assumptions in a project?
This phrase is basically your shield against ambiguity. In fast-paced business environments, it's so easy to make assumptions just to keep things moving. But these assumptions are often the root cause of rework, missed deadlines, all sorts of problems. By politely but directly asking for specifics, you ensure you're building on verified information, not just nodding along. This builds trust efficiency. It shows you're engaged and committed to accuracy.
Makes sense. And to keep the team aligned, let's make sure we're aligned on the project goals, is critical. When is this phrase most effectively deployed? Like, when do you pull this one out to prevent divergence?
Good question. This phrase is probably best used at pivotal moments, like after a significant discussion, maybe before moving to a new phase, or perhaps when new information comes to light. It acts as a sort of compass check, reinforcing that collective understanding and making sure everyone is still pulling in the same direction. Without regular alignment checks like this, teams can unknowingly drift apart, which leads to wasted effort and conflicting outcomes.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. And for just general mutual understanding, let's ensure everyone is on the same page, is a fantastic, versatile phrase. It seems like a good catch-all for confirming shared understanding.
It is indeed very versatile. This phrase serves as a final verification check, making sure the entire team understands the current situation or maybe a proposed decision or a new direction. It's particularly useful after complex discussions or presentations. It gives that last opportunity for anyone to voice confusion or misalignment before the conversation moves forward, which is crucial for collective buy-in and ultimately effective execution.
Okay, and if something is unclear, rather than just stating confusion like, huh, or I don't get it, the source highlights, could you clarify that point a bit further? Why is this specific phrasing more effective than just saying, I don't understand?
It's about the polite but persistent pursuit of clarity. I don't understand can sometimes feel a bit blunt, maybe put the onus entirely on the speaker to re-explain everything from scratch, whereas could you clarify that point a bit further is more collaborative. It implies you've grasped some part of it but need specific elaboration. It shows you're engaged in seeking deeper understanding rather than just admitting complete incomprehension. It usually encourages a more targeted and productive clarification from the speaker too.
Right, that makes sense. So what does this all mean then? Meetings often morph into problem-solving sessions, don't they? How do these phrases help us navigate challenges and actually land on a decision? Rather than just talking in circles or identifying problems without moving towards solutions.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, these phrases are absolutely critical for steering the conversation. Moving it from merely identifying issues to finding concrete resolutions, they empower you to address risks, propose alternatives, and really drive the team towards actionable outcomes. Essentially, transforming a potential complaint session into a constructive workshop.
Okay, so to identify issues, the source suggests, what are the main challenges in this project? Pretty direct. It targets obstacles head on. But what's the trick to getting honest answers when you ask this? People might be hesitant.
The power of this question lies in its directness, yes, but also its neutrality. It focuses on the challenges without assigning blame, which is key. It encourages honest disclosure. But to get genuine answers, the person asking, the facilitator, they must create a safe space, a space where team members feel comfortable identifying problems without fear of, repercussions. It's all about fostering transparency, which is really the first step toward effective problem solving.
Right, that's psychological safety again. And to encourage creative thinking, does anyone have an alternative approach to suggest? That's excellent. How does this phrasing specifically unlock new ideas, do you think?
This phrasing is crucial because it explicitly shifts the focus from just identifying the problem to generating solutions. It signals that you're open to different perspectives, to innovation. It's not just about finding a solution, but maybe the best solution. It helps foster a culture where creative problem solving isn't just allowed, but actively encouraged. It can really reveal breakthrough strategies that might otherwise be overlooked.
Good point. And for making data-driven decisions, you can ask, do we have enough data to make a decision? Why is this question so important, especially today with so much data around? But maybe it's often misused or misinterpreted.
In this age of information overload, this question is such a powerful reality check. It promotes a reliance on facts, ensuring decisions are well supported rather than just based on gut feelings or, worse, incomplete information. It also empowers team members to challenge potentially premature decisions. It forces a pause to gather necessary evidence, which ultimately leads to more reliable and hopefully successful outcomes.
Mm-hmm. Proactive risk assessment is crucial too, and asking what are the potential risks involved in this project gets the team thinking about future obstacles. How does this forward-looking question help prevent crisis management later down the line?
This question is all about foresight, isn't it? By prompting the team to identify risks before they materialize, you shift from that reactive firefighting crisis management mindset to a proactive risk mitigation strategy. It allows for developing contingency plans, allocating resources for potential issues, and generally creating a more resilient project trajectory. It can save significant time, money, and stress in the long run.
Definitely. Now, when it comes to reaching consensus, does everyone agree on the proposed changes? Directly seeks agreement. Is there a danger of, false consensus here, where people just nod along? And how does the phrasing help? Or does it need more?
There can always be a danger of false consensus, absolutely, especially in certain team or company cultures where people might be reluctant to voice dissent. The phrasing itself is direct, which is good, but to mitigate that risk of false consensus, the person facilitating should probably follow up, maybe pause briefly, look for nonverbal cues. Body language tells you a lot. Perhaps even ask for a quick thumbs up down or any final concerns before we move on, just to create a low-pressure environment for genuine feedback. But the phrase itself is a clear call for explicit agreement.
Okay. And for suggesting a strategic direction, I suggest we prioritize tasks based on urgency. This frames a strategic approach. What's the impact of using the word suggest here versus a more direct command like we will prioritize?
Oh, the word suggest is key. It invites collaboration and buy-in rather than simply issuing a directive. It demonstrates leadership by offering a clear path forward, sure, but it leaves room for discussion and refinement from the team. This approach fosters a sense of shared ownership over the strategy, and that usually leads to greater commitment and more effective implementation than just a top-down command.
Right, more collaborative. And to shift the team's mindset, the phrase, "Let's focus on solutions, not just challenges," is a great redirect. How does this actually reframe the conversation, and why is that so critical for productivity?
This phrase is a really powerful reframing technique. It actively combats that human tendency, which we all have, to dwell on problems without moving towards action. By explicitly steering the conversation towards solutions, you empower the team to think constructively. You harness their energy for progress rather than letting it get stuck in unproductive complaining. It's a definite leadership move that shifts a potentially negative feedback loop into a positive, proactive problem-solving cycle.
And for continuous improvement, asking, how can we improve our current strategy? It's an open-ended question. How does regularly asking this help embed a growth mindset within a team?
This isn't just some generic question you throw out there. It's a critical mechanism for fostering a culture of continuous improvement and adaptation. By regularly asking this, you embed that growth mindset within the team culture. You're signaling that even success is an opportunity for refinement. Nothing's ever perfect. It encourages constant evaluation and betterment, which is absolutely essential in today's rapidly changing markets. Standing still really means falling behind.
So true. Okay, next section. A meeting without clear action items is, well, pretty much just a chat, right? A waste of time, potentially. These next phrases are all about making sure the great ideas discussed actually turn into tangible progress. This is where the rubber truly meets the road, isn't it?
Absolutely. Knowledge is most valuable when it's understood and applied. That's the key. This section is really about the application phase, translating all that discussion into concrete, actionable steps. These phrases ensure accountability and structure the path forward. They make sure good ideas don't just dissipate into the ether after the meeting ends, but become measurable, actionable commitments.
Right. So to assign responsibility, you can use who would like to take the lead on this task. It clearly delegates. But how does offering it up like this, as an invitation rather than just assigning it, impact team engagement?
Offering responsibility rather than simply assigning it can significantly boost engagement and ownership. It really can. When individuals volunteer for something, they generally bring a higher level of commitment and initiative to that task. It empowers team members, it leverages their individual strengths and interests, and it fosters a sense of agency, which often results in better quality work and greater motivation overall.
Okay. And for documentation and follow-up, I'll send a summary of today's discussion by email. That's a key phrase. Why is this simple commitment so vital for ensuring action actually happens?
This phrase is crucial for, let's say, institutionalizing the meeting's outcomes, making them official. A written summary acts as that single source of truth. It clarifies decisions, action items, responsibilities for everyone involved. It minimizes misunderstandings, serves as a reference point later on, and it ensures that the work discussed in the meeting actually moves forward beyond the meeting room itself. Without it, commitments can easily be forgotten or misinterpreted.
Yeah, happens all the time. And to track progress on ongoing initiatives, are there any updates on last week's action items?
Yeah.
This is essential for maintaining accountability. What's the strategic benefit of consistently checking in on past action items like this?
This is really a cornerstone of effective project management and accountability. It has to happen. Regularly revisiting past action items keeps those tasks visible, prevents them from falling through the cracks, and it reinforces the expectation that commitments will be followed through. It sets a standard. It creates a rhythm of accountability that drives consistent progress and ensures that previous discussions actually translate into completed work.
Makes sense. And then before concluding, let's review the action items before we end. This acts as a vital recap. How does this prevent confusion and make sure everyone leaves knowing exactly what's next?
This final review is such a critical safeguard. It serves as a real-time check. It ensures everyone understands their responsibilities, their deadlines, and the immediate next steps. It's that last chance to clarify any lingering ambiguities and confirm collective buy-in on the actions. It leaves everyone with a clear, shared mental picture of what needs to happen next, preventing that post-meeting confusion or dropped balls.
Okay. And to provide a concise overview, maybe for people who miss details or just for future reference, I'll summarize the key points discussed today is highly useful. What's the difference between doing this verbally at the end and just sending the summary email later?
Good question. The verbal summary right at the end of the meeting is a live, immediate reinforcement of the most critical takeaways. It caters to different learning styles, particularly auditory learners. It allows for immediate clarification if someone missed something, and it offers that concise verbal recap for everyone present, solidifying it in their minds. The email summary then provides the detailed written record later. It's like a powerful 1-2 punch for ensuring comprehension and retention of key decisions and actions.
Nice. And if a topic needs more discussion or time, let's plan to revisit this topic next week. Schedules a future discussion or check-in. What's the value of explicitly scheduling the follow-up right then and there, rather than just saying, okay, we'll talk about this later?
Explicitly scheduling a follow-up immediately assigns a timeline and importance to the topic. It signals commitment. It prevents issues from being indefinitely postponed, kicked down the road, and ensures that momentum is maintained. It signals commitment to resolving the issue, providing a clear path for resolution or further development, which is far more effective than vague promises to revisit something later, which often means never.
True. And to ensure clear expectations for completion, let's assign deadlines for each action item. Absolutely critical. Why are deadlines so powerful in translating intention into reality? It seems obvious, but maybe it's worth stating.
Deadlines are essentially the backbone of project execution. They really are. They introduce a sense of urgency, and they provide concrete targets for completion. Without them, even the clearest action items can just languish indefinitely. We've all seen it. Assigning deadlines creates a tangible commitment, it helps with prioritization, and it provides a clear metric for tracking progress and accountability. It's what turns intentions into measurable deliverables.
Got it. Finally, in this section, who will be responsible for tracking progress? This designates oversight for everything. What's the strategic significance of this specific assignment, beyond just assigning individual tasks?
This assignment ensures ongoing accountability, but at a higher level, beyond just individual tasks. Designating a progress tracker, whoever that is, means there's a dedicated person responsible for monitoring the completion of all the tasks and keeping the overall project on schedule. This helps prevent bottlenecks, it facilitates timely interventions if things go off track, and it guarantees that someone is consistently overseeing the big picture, which is just vital for project success and sustained momentum.
Okay, moving into the final phase now. Beyond the day-to-day operations, these phrases allow you to zoom out a bit, engage in the bigger picture strategy, innovation, long-term vision. It's about sounding like a leader, not just a participant, really elevating your business dialogue. How do these phrases reflect that deeper level of business engagement?
This is where critical thinking truly comes into play, isn't it? These phrases enable you to explore implications, to question assumptions at a higher level, and to contribute meaningfully to the strategic direction of a project or maybe even the entire organization. They reflect a deeper level of engagement with the business because they move beyond just operational tasks to influence the very trajectory of the work. Strategic impact.
Right. So to plan effectively, what resources do we need to move forward? This is fundamental for ensuring you have the necessary tools, budget, people. Why is this a strategic question rather than just an operational one?
It's strategic because it directly connects current actions to future needs and capabilities. It forces a proactive assessment of what you have versus what you'll need, identifying gaps early. By asking this, you're not just thinking about what needs to be done today, but how it will be resourced sustainably for the future. You're anticipating potential bottlenecks and ensuring the foundation for future success is solid. It's about building capacity for growth, not just executing tasks.
Okay, and focusing on human capital, how can we enhance employee engagement through targeted initiatives? This shifts the conversation to the team's well-being and productivity. Why is this specifically a strategic business English phrase?
This phrase signals a focus on your people human capital as a core strategic asset. Employee engagement isn't just, an HR checklist item. It directly impacts productivity, retention rates, innovation. The bottom line. By using this phrase, you're communicating and understanding that investing in your people is really an investment in the long-term health and success of the business. It elevates the conversation beyond simple tasks to thinking about organizational well-being and capability.
Makes sense. And for strategic alignment with the broader market, let's align our marketing strategy with emerging industry trends this quarter. That's a great phrase.
Yeah.
How does this demonstrate proactive strategic thinking, looking outwards?
This phrase really embodies proactive adaptation, looking outside the building. It positions your internal work within the context of the larger business environment. It acknowledges that static strategies quickly become irrelevant in today's world. By explicitly linking internal efforts to external market dynamics, you signal a forward-thinking mindset. It demonstrates an awareness of competitive landscapes and an intent to maintain market relevance. It's about staying agile and responsive, really.
Okay. And to define success clearly, what metrics will we use to measure project success? This sets clear criteria up front. Why is establishing these metrics so critical for a successful project beyond just, tracking progress along the way?
This question is absolutely foundational because it defines what winning actually looks like for this specific project or initiative. Without clear metrics, success can become subjective, which can lead to ambiguity, disagreement later on. By establishing them up front, you create objective criteria for evaluating performance. This fosters accountability, it guides decision-making throughout the project lifecycle, and it ensures that everyone is working towards the same quantifiable goals. It helps prevent scope creep and ensures the desired outcomes are actually achieved.
Leveraging tools for efficiency, how can we better utilize technology to achieve our goals? This encourages innovation, modernization. Is this just about IT, or is it something broader?
Oh, it's far broader than just IT, definitely. This question is really about continuous innovation, process optimization. It encourages the team to think creatively. How can existing or maybe new technological solutions enhance efficiency, reduce costs, create new opportunities? It's a strategic driver for digital transformation, essentially. And it ensures the organization remains competitive and adaptable in what is, let's face it, a very tech-driven world.
Mm-hmm. And for proactive planning, let's create a detailed plan to address potential challenges. This anticipates problems, prepares the team. Why the emphasis on detailed? Why not just let's create a plan?
The emphasis on detailed is critical here. A vague plan offers very little real protection or guidance when things go wrong. A detailed plan forces the team to think through specific scenarios, assign responsibilities, map out mitigation steps for each potential challenge identified. This level of foresight builds resilience, it reduces panic when issues inevitably arise, and it ensures a smoother execution overall, turning potential crises into more manageable bumps in the road.
Oh, okay. A good communication strategy is vital too. And can we ensure consistent communication throughout all stages of the project? Highlights its importance. What's the strategic value of emphasizing consistency in communication?
Consistency in communication builds trust and, crucially, prevents information silos. Sporadic or inconsistent communication, it can lead to confusion, duplicated efforts, a lack of alignment, especially in complex projects with many moving parts. By prioritizing consistency, you ensure that all stakeholders are regularly informed, engaged, and operating from the same factual base, which is just crucial for seamless collaboration and unified progress towards the goal.
Right, and focusing on efficiency and fiscal responsibility, how can we improve resource utilization without increasing operational costs? That's a powerful question. Why is this so crucial, particularly in today's economic climate?
This question goes right to the heart of operational excellence and financial prudence. It pushes for smarter resource allocation. It challenges the team to innovate within existing constraints, rather than just asking for more budget automatically. In any economic climate, frankly, but especially in lean times, maximizing output with current inputs is a key strategic advantage. It demonstrates a commitment to efficiency and, ultimately, profitability.
And finally, strategically, staying ahead. How can we better anticipate market trends to stay ahead of competitors? This fosters competitive intelligence, forward thinking. What's the strategic payoff here? Why is this important?
This question is really about future-proofing the business. It encourages constant environmental scanning, competitor analysis, and agile mindset. By proactively anticipating trends, an organization can pivot strategies, maybe develop new products, or adapt services before competitors do, securing that first-mover advantage, or at least maintaining market leadership. It's really the essence of sustained competitive advantage in the long term.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've really dived deep into these essential business English sentences that can absolutely transform your presence in meetings, from setting the stage and clarifying purpose, right through navigating discussions, tackling challenges, ensuring action, and even elevating those strategic conversations. These phrases really are your practical toolkit.
Indeed, they are. And by integrating these specific phrases into your business English, you're not just, improving your language skills on the surface, you're actively shaping the narrative of your meetings. You're asserting your clarity, and you're subtly influencing outcomes. It's about becoming a more effective communicator and ultimately a more impactful leader, moving beyond just understanding English to actually wielding it strategically in these key moments.
So consider this. How can the deliberate, conscious use of language transform you from just a meeting attendee into a driving force? What single phrase will you commit to mastering and using in your next business conversation to unlock new levels of impact and confidence? The power of effective communication is truly in your hands. Think about those phrases that maybe seem simple, like, the purpose of this meeting is to review our project progress.
Straightforward.
Or even just, thank you all for joining the meeting on time. Seems basic, right?
It does seem basic, but their strategic value in setting the stage is, well, it's immense. Let's take that first one. The purpose of this meeting is to...
Yeah, let's break that down.
When you state that explicitly, review our project progress or whatever it is, you immediately set clear expectations. Unequivocally clear.
No guesswork.
Zero guesswork. It's more than just an opening line. It's that immediate anchor. It almost physically prevents the meeting from drifting off topic. It aligns everyone's focus on that single defined objective. Right. And that upfront clarity. It helps people prepare their contributions much more effectively. They know exactly what the core discussion is going to be about.
Okay, that makes sense. And the other one, thank you for joining on time.
Ah, yes. Now, that seems like just basic politeness, doesn't it?
It does, just good manners.
And it is, but its power lies in this subtle yet quite potent behavioral reinforcement.
Oh, interesting. How so?
It doesn't just acknowledge punctuality, it subtly cultivates a culture of respect for everyone's collective time. It sets this disciplined, appreciative, considerate tone for the whole session.
So it signals we value time here.
Precisely. Imagine the ripple effect. People feel their time is valued, so they're more present, more engaged. That simple phrase implicitly says that time is a valuable commodity for everyone involved, not just the person running the meeting.
Wow, okay. So the implications of starting like this are pretty big then.
Immense.
A strong, purposeful opening like that, it prevents that, insidious creep of wasted time and confusion later on.
It really does.
It signals this is going to be an efficient session. Demonstrates leadership, respect for the agenda. You contrast that with a vague start.
Oh, the vague start. We've all been there.
Where people are just wondering, why am I here? Or what are we actually doing for the next hour?
Is this relevant to me?
Exactly. So this kind of clear opening, it sets a high professional standard for the whole meeting. And for you, the listener, using these precise opening phrases makes you look incredibly organized, respectful, and frankly, in control.
In control, yes.
Whether you're the host or just participating influentially, it immediately conveys competence. Gravitas, even.
Absolutely. Competence and respect, and building right on that foundation of purpose. We then move smoothly into the next piece, navigating the agenda and initial alignment.
Okay, the agenda.
Our source material wisely gives us phrases like, let's go over the agenda before we start.
School.
And the critically important one, does everyone clearly understand the topic?
Right. And again, these seem like formalities, but they're really not, are they?
Far from it. Let's go over the agenda. That's a critical step. It establishes that shared roadmap for the discussion. Everyone can see the path.
Okay, the roadmap idea again.
It provides that quick final chance for adjustments or maybe pressing questions about the flow. It ensures everyone is literally on the same page about the path forward before you even take the first step.
So it prevents disorientation.
Exactly. And then that follow-up. Does everyone clearly understand the topic? That's a vital, immediate comprehension check.
A safeguard.
A linguistic safeguard, precisely. This proactive question, maybe it seems basic, but it can head off huge misunderstandings later. Costly misinterpretations, long off-topic discussions.
Things that derail the whole meeting.
Completely derail it. This invites early clarification. Maybe someone needs a term defined or a concept explained again. It ensures that collective understanding.
Which must speed things up eventually.
Hugely powerful in accelerating productive dialogue. Without that check, you might have, half the room thinking one thing and the other half thinking something completely different.
It's truly fascinating how doing these things up front, these clarity checks.
Front-loading them.
Yeah, front-loading. Confirming the purpose, reviewing the agenda, explicitly checking understanding. You're not just starting a meeting. You're actively building this robust, airtight foundation.
That's a great way to put it, airtight.
For a really productive, focused conversation. You're saving everyone time by nipping potential issues, ambiguities, tangents right in the bud.
Before they bloom.
Exactly. This careful prep means when you finally dive into the real substance, every single person is fully equipped, ready to contribute effectively, efficiently, maximizing that collective brain power.
Navigating the discussion, participate effectively.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, effective participation in these meetings, it isn't just about voicing your own thoughts, however brilliant they might be.
Okay, there's more to it.
There's much more. It's equally about skillfully inviting, managing, even synthesizing the diverse perspectives of everyone else.
Synthesizing? Interesting.
Yes, fostering a truly collaborative space where all voices aren't just heard, but they're strategically leveraged. For the collective good, it's really an act of leadership, whatever your official role is.
That's a really crucial distinction, not just speaking, but enabling others strategically.
Precisely.
So it's about making sure every voice is heard in a useful way, making your own contributions count, and actively fostering that dynamic, engaging dialogue where new ideas can actually emerge.
Flourish, yes. You shift from being just a speaker to being a facilitator of the group's intelligence.
Orchestrating insights, maybe?
I like that. Orchestrating insights.
Okay, so let's dig into the art of soliciting and sharing perspectives. Our sources give us some great prompts here. Things like, we'd like to hear everyone's perspective on this. Or any additional comments on this issue. And also, how does everyone feel about the current progress? Or does anyone have an alternative approach to suggest? And even, I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts on this new proposal. Lots of variations.
And those variations are powerful. They really underscore the immense value of active inclusivity, both for making big decisions and for tackling complex problems together.
Right. Inclusivity.
By actively asking for different viewpoints, using phrases like these, you're not just being polite. You're strategically making every person feel genuinely valued.
Which must boost engagement.
Absolutely. And that, in turn, intrinsically leads to more comprehensive, more robust, and often more innovative solutions.
Okay.
And consider the difference. It's subtle but critical between a closed question like, does anyone disagree?
Which can feel a bit confrontational, maybe.
Exactly. It might inadvertently shut down quieter voices or people who worry about sounding negative. Compare that to an open invitation like, how does everyone feel about? Or, I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts.
Much more welcoming.
Inherently. It encourages more thoughtful, varied, sometimes unexpected responses. These phrases are specifically designed to unlock the full spectrum of ideas, experiences, potential blind spots in that room. Creates a richer tapestry of thought.
The implications of that kind of open dialogue, they sound really significant.
They are profound. Actively encouraging varied dialogue can uncover risks you hadn't even considered.
Hidden risks, yeah.
Generate genuinely innovative solutions that maybe one person alone wouldn't think of. And it builds much greater team cohesion, shared ownership over the outcome.
Shared ownership, that's key.
These phrases act as potent catalysts for that collective intelligence. They push discussions beyond just, groupthink or whoever talks loudest, towards real shared discovery.
So for you, the listener, using these phrases lets you show strong leadership even if you're not the boss, by fostering that democratic discussion. Or you can contribute thoughtfully, strategically when someone else asks. It showcases your collaborative spirit, influences the discussion meaningfully. You become someone who elevates the whole conversation.
Exactly. You make the whole process richer, more productive for everyone.
Okay, so from soliciting diverse views, the next key skill is seeking clarification and detail.
Absolutely crucial. Our source material arms us with essential phrases here too. Things like, can you provide more details on that point?
Straightforward requests.
Or could you clarify that point a bit further?
Yeah.
Slightly softer, perhaps?
Yeah.
And I'd like to clarify a few points regarding the plan. More assertive, taking ownership of the need for clarity.
Right. And this is where precision really comes into play, isn't it? Due diligence.
Sharp focus, yes. These phrases highlight how critical exactness and absolute clarity are. They prevent costly misunderstandings, mitigate errors,
Avoid mistakes down the line.
and fundamentally ensure everyone is operating from the same shared understanding of the information.
So they're not just passive questions.
Not at all. They're active, deliberate requests for deeper insight, for accuracy, for necessary nuance. When you use them, you show you're listening carefully, engaging critically.
Thinking it through.
Exactly. Committed to factual accuracy, taking a proactive approach to due diligence that benefits the whole group.
It's interesting. It prompts the question, how often do we just barrel ahead in business without really getting the full picture?
It's a vital question to ask ourselves. How often do we proceed without grasping the critical nuances? Unchecked ambiguity. It's a silent killer in projects.
A silent killer, strong words.
It can derail things significantly, lead to costly mistakes, erode trust. So these clarification questions, they are your essential linguistic safeguard
Your protection.
against dangerous assumptions, preventable missteps. They ensure solid ground for every decision you make. By consistently asking for clarification, you're not just helping yourself understand.
You're helping everyone.
Often, you're saving the entire team from future headaches, rework. It's really an act of collective risk mitigation.
Okay, collective risk mitigation through simple questions. Powerful. Now, as we're navigating these discussions, things can sometimes go off track, right?
Inevitably. Human nature.
So that brings us to the crucial skill of guiding the conversation and staying on track. Our sources give us some elegant but firm phrases for this, like, can we discuss this topic at a later time?
The classic parking lot suggestion.
Yeah, or can we stick to the agenda to save time? More direct.
Respectful of time.
And let's keep this discussion brief to stay on track. Also quite clear.
And these phrases perfectly showcase that delicate art, it really is an art, of gentle redirection and effective time management in meetings.
Gentle but firm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They provide polite ways to steer the conversation back to the core objectives, back to the agreed agenda, gracefully preventing those tangents.
Which can sometimes be interesting, but
They consume valuable, often limited, meeting time. It's about finding that balance, allowing for a free flow of genuinely relevant ideas, sure, but rigorously maintaining focus on the predefined goals.
so efficiency without stifling good ideas.
Precisely. Ensuring maximum efficiency without making anyone feel shut down or unheard. It's about respectful assertiveness.
And the implications of mastering these seem pretty obvious, but maybe worth stating.
Absolutely. You proactively prevent that common, often frustrating, pitfall of meeting creep,
Yes, meeting crew.
where discussions just expand way beyond their intended scope. Using these phrases ensures efficiency for everyone and, crucially, shows profound respect for everyone's schedules or valuable time.
It signals respect.
Definitely. And there's a subtle yet remarkably effective leadership demonstrated by anyone who can skillfully manage the flow like this, even if they aren't the official chair.
So for you, listening, strategically using these phrases shows you respect your colleagues' time, you value productivity, and you actively contribute to a highly productive meeting. You become like an invaluable timekeeper.
A guardian of collective focus. That's a good way to put it.
Tackling challenges and driving solutions.
So, as we shift gears a bit, The big takeaway here is that really effective meetings, they're much more than just passive info sharing, aren't they?
Oh, far more. They should be dynamic.
Dynamic, vibrant forums designed for actively identifying complex problems, dissecting them carefully, and then collaboratively forging actual paths forward.
That's where the real work happens.
This is where the strategic heavy lifting of problem solving, innovation, progress, it gets done.
Precisely. And these next sets of phrases we'll look at, they are absolutely pivotal. They underscore the critical importance of, well, first, articulating challenges clearly.
Gotta name the problem.
Yes. But then, crucially, systematically transitioning the group's focus towards constructive resolution and continuous improvement.
Okay, that transition is key.
It's about making that conscious linguistic shift from just identifying what's wrong to actively creating what's right and what's next.
Right. Moving forward, let's kick this off with that first step. Identifying obstacles and risks. Our sources are packed with variations here. Things like, what are the main challenges in this project?
Open question.
What are the potential risks involved? Are there any potential obstacles we should consider? What are the biggest concerns right now? And even looking ahead, what are the biggest challenges we anticipate?
And these phrases really emphasize the necessity of proactively recognizing, articulating, acknowledging potential problems or threats before they blow up.
Before they become crises.
Exactly. Before they demand crisis management. These questions invite an honest, open assessment, critical foresight from everyone. They foster that psychological safety needed for tough conversations.
So people feel safe saying, hey, this might not work.
Precisely. And consider the difference between just stating a problem, which, let's be honest, can sometimes sound like complaining.
We're just dwelling on the negative.
Right. Compare that to inviting a collaborative, forward-looking, problem-solving approach. That shifts the whole dynamic. From potential blame or inaction to collective responsibility, decisive action.
Building a culture of shared vigilance.
Shared vigilance and ownership, exactly.
The implications here sound massive, potentially cascading through a whole project.
Enormous. Early, transparent identification of risks, which these phrases facilitate, can save significant time, resources, effort down the line.
Obvious benefits.
And it actively fosters that positive culture of transparency, accountability, proactive problem solving within a team or even the whole organization.
So for you, the listener, using these phrases shows that keen critical thinking, that foresight, the proactive mindset, making invaluable contributions to robust planning, sophisticated risk mitigation. You're seen not just as doing your job, but as a strategic asset. Someone thinking several steps ahead.
Absolutely. You elevate your contribution significantly.
Okay, so once we've identified challenges, the next logical step is often brainstorming and suggesting alternatives.
Where creativity comes in.
Exactly. Our sources give us phrases like, let's brainstorm some ideas for this initiative. Classic.
Can't beat a good brainstorm.
Or, does anyone have an alternative approach to suggest? Opening the door. Can we explore alternative methods for this project? And maybe more direct. I think we should consider alternative solutions to this problem.
Yeah, offering a specific direction.
And this is really where the magic can happen, isn't it? Where innovation can take flight.
It absolutely is. When you purposefully invite alternative approaches or suggest brainstorming, you're not just asking for random input.
No.
You're actively tapping into the diverse experiences, the unique perspectives, the collective wisdom of everyone in that room.
Harnessing the group's brain power.
This linguistic invitation inherently encourages creative problem solving, actively exploring multiple paths when you hit a challenge. It's designed to stimulate real innovation, encourage that divergent thinking.
Moving beyond the obvious.
Yes, bringing fresh, sometimes unexpected perspectives to the table. It's about unlocking the latent creativity that's often sitting dormant in your team.
And the results, what are the tangible implications?
Well, the deliberate exploration of various alternatives, it often leads to strategies that are demonstrably more effective, more resilient, more adaptive in the long run.
Makes sense. More options, better outcomes.
It highlights the immense value of that collective intelligence, identifying optimal solutions that maybe no single person, no matter how senior, would have seen on their own. By proactively opening the floor to multiple options, you just significantly increase the chances of finding not just a solution, but the most robust, most forward-thinking way forward.
And it cultivates a team that's not afraid to challenge assumptions.
Exactly. Embraces novel thinking. Doesn't just settle for the first idea.
Which then leads us nicely and efficiently to the crucial phase, moving toward solutions and improvement.
Closing the loop.
Right. Phrases like, let's focus on solutions, not just challenges. A clear directive.
Shifting the energy.
Is there a way to streamline this process? Looking for efficiency. How can we improve our current strategy? Seeking optimization. And what innovative solutions can we implement to overcome existing challenges? Very action-oriented.
And these phrases signify that crucial, powerful shift in mindset we talked about. From merely identifying and maybe dwelling on problems to actively seeking, developing, implementing tangible solutions. They are inherently action-oriented, designed to relentlessly push the discussion constructively towards measurable improvements, greater efficiency, systematically overcoming those obstacles.
So they don't let you get stuck in the problem phase.
Exactly. They prompt immediate, forward-thinking, collaborative action, channeling energy from diagnosis right into actionable steps.
Ultimately, this empowers you to make sure that this solution-focused language actually translates into driving consistent progress.
Tangible results.
Achieving objectives, delivering results again and again, it reinforces that iterative cycle of continuous improvement that's so vital in business.
Turning roadblocks into stepping stones.
Exactly. You're building a culture where obstacles are seen as opportunities for growth, for innovation, not dead ends.
And this really raises that important question for anyone involved in these meetings, leader or contributor. Are we stopping at just cataloging issues, just airing grievances?
Or are we doing more?
Or are we actively transforming those issues into concrete opportunities for advancement, for sustainable growth? These phrases are the precise linguistic levers that guide that transformation, moving discussions decisively from passive analysis to robust, actionable strategy.
Ensuring action and accountability.
Now, a meeting, it doesn't matter how insightful it was, how brilliant the ideas shared, how profound the discussion. Fundamentally, it remains just a conversation without clear, committed action following it.
Right. Talk is cheap, as they say.
Precisely. And what's fascinating here is the strong emphasis in these next phrases on meticulously translating that discussion into tangible next steps. And critically, ensuring crystal clear accountability for those steps.
Accountability, that's the key word.
This is exactly where decisions move from being abstract ideas into becoming concrete reality.
Okay, so this is where, as I said earlier, the rubber meets the road.
Literally.
These phrases are the linchpins. They make absolutely certain that decisions aren't just made, but that things actually get done. That progress continues, momentum is maintained long after everyone's left the room.
It's the critical bridge, ideation to implementation.
Let's start with the absolute cornerstone of getting things done, assigning responsibilities and deadlines. Our source material gives us a ton of options here.
Lots of ways to phrase it.
Who would like to take the lead on this task? An open invitation.
Volunteer-based.
Who would be responsible for implementing these changes? More direct assignment. Let's assign deadlines for each action item, focusing on time. Who is available to take on this task? Checking capacity. Who will be responsible for tracking progress? Defining oversight. Let's set a realistic deadline for this goal, emphasizing feasibility. And even, who will take responsibility for managing this project moving forward? Assigning overall ownership.
And these phrases, they address that absolute cornerstone of effective project management. Clear ownership and defined timelines for every single task.
Yeah, be fuzzy.
No room for fuzziness. By consistently using these, you unequivocally ensure every agreed action item has a designated person explicitly accountable.
A name next to it.
A name next to it, yes. Paired with a specific target completion date. This fosters profound clarity, unwavering commitment. It eliminates any possible ambiguity about who does what by when.
Prevents things falling into that gray area.
Exactly, that nebulous, unproductive gray area. It ensures tasks move forward with purpose.
And the strategic implications seem huge again.
Immense.
Yeah.
Far-reaching. You proactively prevent crucial tasks from just falling through the cracks, a super common pitfall when responsibility is diffused or unclear.
We've all seen that happen.
Absolutely. These phrases actively drive efficiency, ensure consistent project momentum by defining those concrete next steps and undeniable commitments.
So for you, the listener, using these lets you clarify roles, maybe volunteer where you can add real value.
Strategically.
Or just ensure your team has that transparent, accountable path forward. You become that invaluable person who makes sure things actually happen, transforming talk into tangible output.
Very well put. Now, after assigning responsibility, the next critical piece is tracking progress and updates.
Keeping tabs on it all.
Exactly. Our source offers indispensable phrases like, are there any updates on last week's action items? Looking back.
Checking follow-through.
Who can provide a status update on this project? Seeking current status. Can you share a summary of recent developments? Asking for a concise overview. Looking forward. Let's monitor our progress closely over the next few weeks. Setting expectations for vigilance. Let's review the previous meeting's action items to track progress, formal check-in, and let's organize regular status updates. Systematizing the process.
And these phrases really emphasize that ongoing need for continuous monitoring, transparent reporting, keeping project visibility high.
Unwavering visibility. They facilitate real-time, ongoing insight into project status. That allows for early identification of any areas needing immediate attention or, proactive intervention.
You catch problems early.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They transform meetings into dynamic checkpoints, not just isolated planning sessions, ensuring continuous alignment, avoiding those costly surprises or hidden roadblocks later on. It fosters a culture of perpetual awareness.
Perpetual awareness, I like that.
And this proactive approach, it uniquely enables that early detection of deviations from the plan or emerging roadblocks that could derail things. It's absolutely vital for maintaining transparency, bolstering stakeholder confidence through consistent updates.
Keeps everyone feeling informed and secure.
And provides a foundation for agile decision-making. It clearly signals a proactive management style, not reactive, positioning the team to adapt quickly, effectively.
Ultimately, this empowers you to proactively create that vital, robust feedback loop.
The feedback loop.
Ensuring everyone involved is consistently in the know, operating from the same accurate information. That level of awareness is crucial for agile, responsive project management. Allows for swift adjustments, course corrections.
Building a system of systematic adjustment.
Okay. And finally, in this section, something may be easily overlooked. Resource allocation and support.
Often overlooked, but so critical.
Our sources give us some really probing questions here. What resources do we need to move forward? Basic, but essential.
Foundational.
Can we allocate more resources to this project? Addressing potential shortfalls. What support do you need to complete this task? Focusing on individual needs.
Personalizing the support.
Can we allocate additional funding? Talking money. What additional resources would help expedite completion? Looking for acceleration. How can we better allocate resources for efficiency? Optimization focus. And the big one, do we have enough resources to meet upcoming demands? Capacity check.
And these phrases highlight that fundamental truth. No task, however well-defined, exists in a vacuum.
Right. Nothing gets done without resources.
Successful execution inherently requires adequate support, adequate resources.
Right.
Proactively asking about or offering resources, it demonstrates profound foresight, practical acumen,
Shows you understand the nuts and bolts.
and a genuine commitment to enabling success. It shows you understand the intricate practicalities of getting complex work done beyond just the theoretical plan on paper.
And connecting this to the bigger picture.
Well, these aren't just logistical questions, are they? They're profound strategic inquiries. They directly impact a project's viability, its efficiency, its ultimate success.
Strategic inquiries. Okay.
By proactively addressing resource needs, you ensure teams are properly equipped to succeed. You prevent bottlenecks, costly delays, often caused by insufficient or maybe misallocated resources. It reveals a deep operational understanding of what it truly takes to move a project from concept to completion, demonstrates a really holistic view of project management.
Strategic considerations and continuous improvement.
Now, here's where, for me, it gets really captivating.
Yeah.
Beyond the immediate tasks, the pressing deadlines, a truly impactful meeting uses language not just to manage the present moment,
Looking beyond the day-to-day.
exactly, but to strategically align on much bigger organizational goals, and to actively drive this pervasive culture of constant improvement, forward-thinking strategy,
Building for the future.
building a resilient, adaptable future, not just reacting to today's demands.
And what's truly fascinating here is witnessing that evolution in communication from, basic meeting management, running things smoothly,
Logistics.
to much higher level strategic thinking. And the phrases themselves, they're subtly but powerfully embedded within the language.
The tools for shaping vision.
Precisely. Not just for daily ops. They're the linguistic tools for shaping vision, long-term trajectory.
Okay, let's start with the crucial aspect of aligning goals and strategic vision. Our sources give us essentials like, let's make sure we're aligned on the project goals, Basic alignment check.
Foundational check.
Let's focus on key priorities for this quarter. Bringing focus. Let's make sure we meet our key objectives. Goal-oriented. Drilling down. What are the primary objectives we want to achieve this month? Time-bound. What are the key performance indicators for this quarter? Measurement focus.
The PIs, yeah.
And then broader. How can we better align our goals with the company's long-term vision? The big picture. How can we ensure that all departments are working toward the same goal? Breaking down silos. And how can we better align our strategy with organizational priorities? Top-level strategy check.
And these phrases, they articulate that fundamental, undeniable need for collective direction, a deeply shared understanding of the overarching aims across all levels of an organization.
Everyone pulling in the same direction.
Like perfectly tuned instruments in an orchestra, as you said. They actively reinforce strategic alignment, meticulously ensuring individual efforts, departmental initiative, consistently contribute to that broader vision, the mission.
So it stops fragmented work.
Exactly. Prevents that fragmented, siloed work that can undermine overall objectives. Ensures coherent, impactful actions that collectively propel the organization powerfully forward. It really underscores the critical importance of a unified front, shared purpose in achieving that large-scale transformative success.
So for you, the listener, consistently using these phrases demonstrates that sharp strategic awareness, real leadership.
Undeniable leadership.
Ensuring your contributions, your team's contributions, are always perfectly aligned with the company's big picture long-term objectives. You're not just executing tasks anymore.
You're contributing strategically.
You're actively contributing to a grander strategy, positioning yourself as a visionary contributor.
Very well said. Now, next, let's dive into enhancing collaboration and communication, which, let's face it, is the absolute lifeblood of any successful enterprise, especially today.
In these complex work environments.
Our phrases reflect this vital truth perfectly.
Yeah.
Let's ensure everyone is on the same page. Classic.
Gotta be on the same page.
Let's keep communication open throughout the project. Ongoing commitment. Let's keep communication open between meetings. Bridging the gaps.
Important distinction.
How can we improve collaboration on this project? Seeking specific improvements. Can we improve internal communication to enhance overall team productivity? Linking communication to results. Broader again. How can we foster stronger collaboration between different departments? Cross-functional focus. And very relevant today. How can we ensure smooth coordination between the on-site and remote teams?
Hybrid challenges.
How can we ensure better communication between remote and in-office teams? Same idea.
Yeah.
And even globally. How can we enhance collaboration between our global teams?
Wow, covering all bases there.
And these phrases are specifically designed to systematically break down those barriers, foster an environment of shared understanding, active mutual support across different functions, locations, time zones.
And you mentioned nuances earlier, like on the same page?
Ah, yes, the nuance.
Yeah.
On the same page. It implies more than just understanding facts, doesn't it?
Seems like it. More like agreement.
It implies psychological alignment, a shared purpose, which is inherently deeper, more binding than just clear understanding. It fosters collective commitment, that esprit de corps.
Esprit de corps, nice.
And this raises that profoundly important question for modern workplaces. In today's distributed, globalized, often asynchronous world, how do we intentionally build and maintain authentic connection? Seamless flow.
Yeah, it's a huge challenge.
These phrases are the very linguistic connective tissue. They literally bind teams and projects together regardless of physical proximity. They lead to significantly increased efficiency, marked reduction in misunderstandings, and cultivating a stronger, more cohesive team dynamic. They empower proactive communication strategies to effectively bridge those gaps between diverse teams, ensuring that despite distance, everyone feels part of one unified effort.
Okay. And finally, in this strategic segment, we hit the critical domain of learning, adapting, and mitigating risks. Our source material is exceptionally rich here, a powerful toolkit.
Really comprehensive.
Do we need to revise our current strategy for better results? Questioning the status quo.
Essential.
Let's review the feedback from our recent client satisfaction survey using external data. How can we address recurring issues to avoid project delays? Problem-solving focus.
Getting to root causes.
Let's develop a risk assessment framework for better decision-making. Systematizing risk analysis. How can we conduct a post-project review to identify lessons learned? Formal learning process.
Capturing that knowledge.
Do we need to adjust our strategy based on recent market developments? External adaptation. Then contingency planning. Let's prepare a contingency plan if needed.
Plan B.
Let's create a backup plan. Same idea. Let's prepare a comprehensive risk management strategy for future projects. Proactive, long-term.
Strategic risk management.
How do we plan to mitigate potential risks in the upcoming phase? Forward-looking mitigation. Let's develop a contingency plan to handle unexpected challenges effectively. Again, preparedness. Let's make sure we have contingency measures in place, reassurance, and finally, external awareness. Let's monitor industry trends to stay ahead of competitors.
Wow, that's a lot, but it really covers the spectrum of adaptation and foresight. These phrases encapsulate that cyclical, iterative process, continuous improvement, proactive, strategic foresight.
It's not linear.
Not at all. They actively encourage deep reflection on past experiences, robust learning from successes and failures,
Learning from mistakes is key.
and disciplined, proactive planning for future uncertainties, emerging opportunities. Take how can we conduct a post-project review to identify lessons learned? That's not just about finding blame.
No, it shouldn't be.
It's about systematically capturing institutional knowledge, turning individual experiences into organizational wisdom that benefits future projects.
Building a learning organization.
Exactly. And phrases like, let's prepare a contingency plan, or let's make sure we have contingency measures, they shift you from just reacting to problems
Is the team prepared?
to a stance of strategic preparedness, building an anti-fragile organization, one that actually thrives on change. It's about establishing those strong feedback loops, robust contingency planning, agile responses to market shifts.
So ultimately, this means your meetings aren't just about moving forward. They're about moving forward smarter,
Smarter, definitely.
safer, and with this inherent built-in capacity for growth, for learning.
Exponential growth, continuous learning.
You're building an organization that can not only react well, but can proactively anticipate, shape, even thrive in its future. That feels like the hallmark of real strategic leadership.
Concluding with clarity and next steps.
Okay, every great journey, including this deep dive into powerful business English, it needs a strong finish, right? An impactful conclusion.
Absolutely. Land the plane smoothly.
And our source material gives us some fantastic, precise ways to wrap up a meeting effectively, ensuring all that effort actually bears fruit, leaves a positive, lasting impression.
And what's truly fascinating here is how these closing phrases, they're meticulously designed to reinforce that crystal clear clarity we talked about at the start,
Full circle.
confirm definitive outcomes, and, crucially, ensure uninterrupted continuity of action. They're about cementing commitments and seamlessly preparing the ground for whatever comes next, extending the meeting's impact well beyond the room itself.
Okay, let's start with the vital task of summarizing and finalizing. Consider phrases like, I'll send a summary of today's discussion by email. Clear follow-up.
Documented.
Are there any questions before we move on? Final check. Please let me know if I missed anything important. Inviting correction, ensuring accuracy.
Humility and thoroughness.
Can we summarize the main takeaways from today's discussion? Collective recap. I'll summarize the key points discussed today, taking ownership of the summary.
Offering to do the work.
Is there any other input before we close? Last call for contributions. Are there any final comments before we conclude? Similar idea. And the critical one. Can someone document today's decisions for future reference? Assigning documentation.
And these phrases really highlight the paramount importance of that clear, concise, accurate meeting recap. The goal is simple. Ensure every single participant leaves with the identical understanding.
No ambiguity.
Identical understanding of what was discussed, what was definitively decided, what was committed to. Phrases like, any questions before we move on? Or did I miss anything important? They proactively confirm comprehension, graciously invite final clarifications or additions, prevents that post-meeting confusion.
Where two people remember the decision differently.
Exactly. And the critical role of formal documentation. Can someone document today's decisions? Cannot be overstated. It establishes clear accountability, provides that undeniable concrete reference point for everyone, safeguards institutional memory,
So you can look back and know what was decided.
effectively preventing ambiguity, setting up efficient, unquestionable follow-through. It's like the final knot in a well-tied bow. Solidifies everything.
So for you, the listener, these are powerful tools. Confirm shared understanding, maybe offer to help with summaries if that's your strength.
Play to your strengths.
Or just ensure critical decisions, action items are captured accurately, circulated effectively. You become the one who consistently ties up those loose ends. ensures nothing falls through the cracks. Everyone's truly on the same page moving forward.
Invaluable contribution. And tying right into that, we seamlessly transition to planning future actions and follow-ups.
Keeping the momentum going.
Exactly. Our source provided crucial language here. Let's review the action items before we end. Final check on commitments.
Make sure everyone knows what they're doing.
Let's plan to revisit this topic next week. Scheduling follow-up. I suggest we organize a follow-up meeting. Proposing next steps. Can we schedule a brainstorming session to generate fresh ideas? Planning future creative work.
Setting future agendas.
Let's set measurable goals for our next meeting. Making the next meeting purposeful. Can we set up a follow-up meeting to review progress? Accountability check. And what are the next steps in finalizing the project deliverables? Focusing on outputs.
And these phrases explicitly bridge the current discussion to those future actions, future engagements, powerfully demonstrating that forward-thinking, continuous approach.
Not just stopping dead.
No. Ensuring the valuable momentum generated in the meeting carries forward into concrete steps beyond the session, preventing stagnation. It's about ensuring progress isn't just isolated to one meeting.
But it's part of an unbroken chain of advancement. Continuous flow.
And connecting this to the bigger picture again.
Well, these aren't just polite closings, designed to dismiss people.
Okay, meeting over. Bye.
No.
Yeah.
They are strategic launchpads for future success. They embody that fundamental idea that progress in business, it's an ongoing interconnected journey, not just a series of isolated events or meetings.
Right.
They prevent stagnation, ensure strategic discussions consistently lead to tangible, measurable advancements, transforming good ideas into real-world impact.
Okay. And finally, a simple but maybe profound closing that we shouldn't underestimate. Expressing gratitude and encouraging future engagement.
The human element.
The source material succinctly offers, thank you everyone for your valuable contributions.
Simple, powerful. It emphasizes that simple yet profoundly effective act of acknowledging, genuinely appreciating every participant's input.
It's not just a formality.
It shouldn't be. Done sincerely, it actively fosters goodwill, reinforces the intrinsic value of everyone's time, their insights, and subtly encourages continued, enthusiastic engagement in future collaborations.
Makes people want to contribute next time.
Exactly. It's a key, often overlooked element of building those positive team dynamics, fostering a culture where people feel seen, heard, appreciated.
So ultimately, this empowers you to end your meetings not just with clarity on tasks and next steps,
Which is vital.
but also on a high note of sincere appreciation, ensuring everyone feels their time was genuinely well spent, their contributions truly valued, leaves that positive, lasting impression.
And profoundly encourages enthusiastic participation next time around. It makes meetings something people might actually look forward to, or at least not dread. Outro.
And that, I think, wraps up our really in-depth deep dive into mastering business English for high-impact meetings. Wow, we covered a lot of ground.
We certainly did, from start to finish.
We journeyed through this remarkable collection of essential sentences, meticulously moving from, setting the stage with precision,
Taking things off road.
and navigating those complex discussions with grace, tackling formidable challenges head-on, ensuring that unwavering accountability,
Making sure things get done.
and even aligning on that grand strategic vision for continuous improvement. This deep dive, hopefully, has armed you, our listener, with not just, more words,
More than just vocabulary.
but a robust strategic framework for communicating with unparalleled precision and real measurable impact. Remember, these phrases, they aren't just words. They are powerful tools
Tools for influence.
for influencing outcomes, streamlining processes, and building highly effective, enduring professional relationships.
And as you reflect on the sheer power of intentional language in shaping professional outcomes, maybe consider this provocative thought. How will these seemingly simple, yet as we've discussed, strategically potent phrases, how will they transform your approach in your very next meeting?
Good question.
What specific, deliberate micro-adjustments will you make to foster even greater clarity, encourage more profound collaboration, and drive demonstrable, consistent progress within your team, your organization?
Something to really think about. A huge thank you for joining us on this transformative deep dive.
Ah,
Now go forth, apply these actionable insights with confidence,
put them into practice.
and truly elevate your professional impact.